You guys, I have been wanting to paint my kitchen cabinets and update the flooring in my house for years. So this winter I did both, kind of at the same time. I'm a professional painter and have lots of experience with cabinet painting. I have taken professional classes, but also working as a helper to my friend Lisa, who paints cabinets for a living. We help each other. She helps me on walls and I help her on cabinets. She has a shop and a sprayer and I have neither, so I decided to make some amateur adjustments just so I could finally get this job done in my house. For example, I rolled the paint instead of spraying, and I left the cabinet doors on their hinges, as I don't really have the space in my house to lay out all these doors and flip them several times between coats. I also have a cat, which cats like to walk on stuff, and that doesn't work with wet paint. So I also have to show you, about 15 years ago, I had the doors and drawers replaced. And it was after that on a whim, I cut out this saying from a bag of coffee that spoke to me and taped it inside the cabinet door. And it's been there ever since. So first I had to remove this daily inspiration. But then it was time to start. The first step is cleaning. I use simple green diluted with a bit of warm water. I used a scrubby to first wet the surface, let it sit for a minute, and then scrubbed it well. Kitchen cabinets get really, really dirty and gross over time, and cleaning them is very humbling. I was actually ashamed. After scrubbing, I rinsed it with clear water. The moisture from this process is going to raise the grain of the wood, and then it's time to sand it. I used 200 grit sandpaper and an orbital sander. You can sand it by hand, but I wouldn't recommend it. Buy or borrow a sander if you can. Then I wiped all the residual dust first with a damp rag. And then, and this is an important step, I did a final wipe with diluted denatured alcohol. So half denatured alcohol and half water, okay? And a microfiber rag. Okay, now it's time to prime. I always use BIN, capital B-I-N, white shellac primer on cabinets and furniture. It stinks, but it sticks to everything, and it dries very fast, and it's sandable. Because I was working on my floor at the same time, and because we needed to use our kitchen during this time, I worked in sections. I bought a large package of mini rollers and threw them away at the end of each day. Don't bother trying to clean shellac primer off a roller, just pitch it. So for the primer, I used a small tray, a mini frame and fluffer, which is what I call roller covers, and an angled artist brush, a small one, which I also threw away at the end of the day. The shellac really just can't be cleaned. Just throw it away. So yes, buy a package of small brushes for this project also. So then I taped anywhere that needed to be taped, and I put down drop cloths. Then I began to prime. The primer dries very fast, and almost as soon as you finish priming, you're able to start to paint. But first, check over everything and make for any holes or that need to be filled or any caulking that needs to be done. Yes, I do that after priming. Wherever I fill holes, after that's dry, you sand it, then spot prime it again. And like I said, the primer dries really quickly. Then you're ready for your first coat of paint, which is pretty exciting at this point. But I want to just say, I know this is a lot of prep, but the prep on painting cabinets is very important because you want this to last. You don't want the paint to peel. You want to make sure it's on a very clean, solid surface. Once the primer is dry, I applied my first coat of paint. I opted to use PPG Breakthough and semi-gloss in a robin's egg blue. I love this product, and it's what I would recommend for DIY cabinet painting. I also like the cabinets to be glossy, but most people go for a satin sheen. I used the semi-gloss. I used a mini roller, a medium-sized angled brush, and a small angled artist brush for applying the paint. This is latex paint and washes up with water, so every night I would wash my brushes and roller cover and let them dry overnight. The next day I applied the second and, which is the final finish, coat of paint. By that night I reinstalled the hardware, and now that section was complete. I worked in a total of 6 sections for my kitchen, which made this project take close to 2 weeks. If I were to do it all at once and had the kitchen completely torn up, it can be done in 5 days total. But doing it in sections worked well for our busy household. And I love the final result and love our new floor too. I hope I was able to give you enough information that you may tackle painting cabinets in your home if you're needing an update. You will save yourself a lot of money doing it yourself. And it's a very satisfying project, and you'll enjoy it for years to come. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.